Will S. Green was a major part of creating the opportunity for irrigation in the Sacramento Valley, and he spent decades trying to promote and create an irrigation system. He had far-reaching vision, and this award is something that can be presented to people who are looking at the big picture.
Well, when you think about somebody like a Will S. Green and you read about Will S. Green and his contributions to the Sacramento Valley, you can't help think that Mary Wells took inspiration from Will Green. She really kind of embodies his spirit. She kind of embodies his kind of soft-spoken way about just persevering and moving through the issues and ultimately making the Sacramento Valley a better place.
Mary is very deserving of this award. I believe that she is the icon, the figure that Will S. Green represents, the icon of the water world.
She has spent her lifetime promoting irrigation, and she has promoted the sustainability of the Sacramento Valley like no other.
To me, Mary is the Will S. Green Award. I think she's so deserving of it.
She was the first female to be an FFA. She was one of the first graduates from the School of Agriculture at Cal Poly. She was the first staff member hired by Westside Water District, which helped build that district. She was one of the founding board members of NAWQA. She was the first female president of NAWQA. She was the first female manager of Westside Water District and Maxwell Irrigation District.
Mary Wells was in a lot of different boards, and she was a pioneer in many ways. But she had no fear about going into a room, no matter who was in there, no matter their ranking or men or other women or whoever.
Maxwell and Westside share a manager. She was the first to put that in place. And since then, there's been a couple other examples where other districts are trying to do the same things.
Mary Wells was one of the original founders of NAWQA, and you could tell right away that she had the energy and the desire and the passion, and realized how important it was for us to organize in the North State. And she was relentless.
Confident and always knew what she was talking about. Her level of detail in the water world was so impressive.
I think Mary helped set the tone for the organization for early on. I think we were so lucky to have so many chairmen. Mary was our third chairman, and she just continued to set that positive tone of the organization.
As NAWQA grew and began having a voice for agricultural irrigation and the water industry, my mom was meeting with more and more people, reaching out further and further and beginning to travel. That is when I realized that my mom was playing an integral part in the growth of NAWQA.
I don't know anybody in the state of California that doesn't like Mary Wells. I don't know anybody in the state of California that doesn't have the most immense respect for her.
Mary is a very outgoing, friendly, active person, easy to get to know, easy to talk to.
Really wants you as a person to do very well at whatever you're doing.
She's an amazing person, and for Mary, it wasn't, she was a female, she's doing this, she's forging the way because I'm a woman. Mary just did it because that's what she wanted to do.
With her being a woman in the water world in those days, it was a difficult challenge, but she made it seem so simple and seamless because she was so knowledgeable and had so much respect around the valley already that when she spoke, people paid attention.
Mary is one of the leaders in the Sacramento Valley who really broke ground in the area of water management for women. There are not, even to this day, many women general managers for water districts.
And she persevered through that, pressed on, and really came out doing very well, and with a ton of respect from her peers as well.
Winnie Jones, Cynthia Peterson, the three of them really laid the way for women in the industry, and as spokesmen, they set the path that the rest of us can follow.
Mary loved to host tours and to welcome people to her ranch so that they could see farming firsthand.
She spent countless hours educating people on the issues in the North State.
Mary truly, I think, had one of the keenest senses of the Sacramento Valley of anybody I've ever known.
Mary and a group of other local contractors, including the County of Glenn and Colusa, formed a joint powers agreement to begin a local effort to reinvigorate the site's reservoir project. And she was a pioneer in starting that joint powers agreement.
Boy, she was a champion about sites from day one.
Mary knows that she will give up where her land is to build Sites Reservoir, but that just encompasses everything about Mary, that she's willing to give that up.
But she has that long-term vision. I think Mary's always, in her ranching and her farming, she's always been looking out towards the horizon. And I just think she knows what the future of the Sacramento Valley is. She knows what the future of California is. And I think that's really what motivates her. And I think that just makes her a truly gifted leader.
And I think that's such a rare quality to find a person, anybody, who would take the position she has on sites for the betterment of others, even at the peril of her own ranch and her home.
To be that unselfish for the greater good of others tells a lot about her character as well.
She recognizes how vital the role of irrigation water is, not only to our little town of Maxwell, our community of Colusa County, Northern California, but the entire state of California, that she's willing to sacrifice her ranch, her home, the house that I grew up in, for the betterment of providing secure water supply so that her grandkids and her great-grandkids and generations after have water to continue to farm and live the life that we love in the valley. So yes, it is a sacrifice, one that she struggled with early on, but recognized the value of having that reservoir there with water that provides a lifeblood right across the range into the valley. And not only would it help our family, our community, but really the whole state of California.